What's up, YouTube? DJ Kryptonite here talking boxing, combat sports, and all that jazz. I just want to give my prediction for this upcoming fight weekend. It's going to be a great weekend. I guess before all the new media come out with their predictions and all of that, I want to put mine out there first. I really hadn't had a chance, really a good opportunity to just sit down and break down the two fighters. I've watched Ugas and Errol Spence fights in the past. I'm very familiar with Errol Spence. Ugas, I've seen a few of his fights, and they're both impressive. Of course, Ugas had a little bit more of a rocky start to his professional career. He was a very decorated, well-decorated Cuban boxer in the amateurs prior to turning pro. But during his pro days, of course, he had some setbacks. I think he lost maybe 3 fights straight or something to that effect. So then he ended up getting out of boxing for a while. Then he came back and that sort of thing. But anyway, yeah, he had a bit of a rocky start. But right now, he's a totally different fighter. Very confident, very skilled. I'm not so sure about his power, but his skill and his ability is really second to none, the way he goes about doing his business. So I don't have any worries about his skill level, but he's definitely an elite welterweight, and not to mention that, but he's a big welterweight. On the other hand, Errol Spence, he's been ascending since his pro debut. I believe Errol Spence started out at 154. I think his first 1 or 2 fights were at 154. May have been, I think it was 1 or 2. I don't know exactly. But I think he actually pro debuted at 154. So he's definitely a big welterweight as well. Again, not lacking any skill or technique or drive. And he as well have been through some trials and tribulations with his pro career. Mainly, like everybody knows, his car accident and subsequently thereafter his eye surgery with a detached retina or something like that. But he seemed to have gotten through the car accident fairly well. The eye, not too sure about. I think this is the first fight since his eye surgery, so this should be telling to see what his health is and see if he's favoring the eye any, because I'm sure it's going to get tested. So we'll see if he favors that or is a little bit more reluctant to engage because of it. But we'll figure that out as that fight gets going. But outside of all those factors, I just wanted to give my analysis of it. Both are great at what they do. I think Ugas is a better counterpuncher. Spence is more of a I don't want to say he presses the issue, but he's not a brawler in the sense that he pressed the issue that way. He's a boxer puncher where he presses the issue and sets you up for punches, so to speak. So he's not a typical counterpuncher, but he sets traps for you as he moves forward, because he doesn't take steps back very often. Ugas, same way, doesn't really take a whole lot of steps backwards, but he's more of a counterpuncher, in your face type deal. So I say all that to say this should be a very good fight. Very good fight in the sense that we have different styles of boxing, and what they do is they enable the other fighter to get off. So this is a great fight. This should be a great fight. At least on paper, it's a great fight. Styles-wise, this is a great fight. Skill-wise, this is a great fight. So I'm looking forward to it. They're not big punchers. At least as of late, they haven't been big punchers. They don't really, they don't have that one-punch knockout power. But they can accumulate a lot of damage and get you out of there. So I'm looking forward to a fight much like that. My prediction is I see it going the distance. I really don't see this being a stoppage. because neither guy takes a lot of chances or puts themselves in a position to take chances or being taken advantage of. So they are very skilled at keeping distance and keeping themselves in the comfort zone. Now, what's going to be the key in this fight is what the other is able to do to get the other person out of the comfort zone. I don't know how that's going to transpire. That should be a very interesting dynamic of chess. So I don't know how that's going to play out. If Ugas, puts himself in a position to enable Spence to commit himself to punches that he actually is laying traps for. And on the other hand, is Spence able to move forward and put Ugas in a position to be vulnerable for those combinations, those body shots, because ultimately they both go to the body very well. Errol Spence is a more aggressive body puncher because he's moving forward, throwing body shots, and I'll see that playing a role early on with Spence. And I got a feeling Ugas is going to try to match the body blows. The body shots, I think Ugas will try to match, just to see if he can take some steam out of Errol as he moves forward. And I think Ugas is going to try to counter some of those body shots. Or, as Spence goes down, Ugas may go upstairs. But I can see him matching those body shots. So, long story short, I see it going the distance. I see Errol Spence getting the better of the exchanges. Ugas will have his day, have his time during the fight. But I don't think it's going to be enough to get by Errol Spence. The only thing that Ugas lacks is that aggression where he moves forward and actually initiates. And I think what he'll do is he's going to rely on Errol Spence to make mistakes and try to counter. And I don't think Errol Spence makes a lot of mistakes. I think Errol Spence catches a lot of punches with his gloves, and he moves very well. So I don't think he's going to, put himself in a position to get caught with a lot of those counters. Not to say he won't get caught. I'm sure he's going to get touched here and there, but I don't think it's going to be enough to take the belts from Errol Spence. So my prediction is 12 rounds of good action. They both will have their day in the sun throughout the engagement, but I think Errol Spence will get the better of the clashes and ultimately become undisputed and pick up another strap in the process, setting up the much anticipated fight with Terrence Crawford. Now, hopefully that transpires, but I don't know. We'll see. That's a very intriguing fight, but we'll talk about that once those signatures are on that contract, and we'll get to that. But as it stands, I'll go Spence, unanimous decision, and gets another strap. Anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying your Monday. I am. I'm about to head to this gym, get my workout in. Everybody have a great evening. Like, subscribe, comment. And DJ Kryptonite will talk to you soon. Deuces.